Hey friends! Thanks for checking me out here on Patreon. So if I haven't explained to you already what Patreon is, it is a platform for creative types. People who make movies, who sing songs, who tell jokes, who write books, who are looking to pull together all the people that we have in our community that support us and allow us to do what we do so naturally and so well to make people happy. So that's what I'm all about. And I pray that if you have family in Mexico or Puerto Rico or even in Las Vegas, I pray that your people are safe and sound. I have a great deal of love for children, and I have a great deal of love for adults who were formerly children. So by you being a supporter and patron of me and my art making here on this platform, being on Patreon as an artist will open up the opportunity for me to really hone and fine-tune these great creations in my mind that I've had all my life and really get them out and into the world and hopefully enlighten and entertain and love some children to make our future as really, really old people safe and sound. Because these young people, these beautiful children, will be our caretakers. So it makes me wonder, like, what am I supposed to do next? And I'm not quite sure. So I mean, for me, officially the world has changed this week. I'm a musician that plays outdoor concerts for family audiences, and bingo! Something odd has happened in 2017 that now changes the way that we think, let alone the way that we move and behave. So Patreon gives me the access to be anywhere that I choose to be, safely, and you choose to be there with me, safely, in the comfort of your home, in your underwear, in your pajamas, and you can, whenever you like, tune in to what I'm doing. I am looking forward to having a website and a YouTube channel and a Patreon page where I can talk very closely to children who need somebody to know that I see you and I hear you and you are wonderful, but keep doing better. I'm trying to find a balance between MS and the disability that encroaches on me as my MS flares up and activates, which happens when I get stressed and do too much work and too much walking and too much. My MS flares up and becomes problematic for me to function. And don't really worry about me and my MS. Me and my MS, we're gonna work it out just fine. And I can't imagine not singing and playing the piano and making people laugh. So I've been thinking, like, how do I continue to do that? Patreon. Patreon.com/RobbieK is your portal to me. Many of you come to my shows. Many of you buy my CDs. Everybody I know watches my videos on YouTube and gets a laugh and a chuckle and a shake of the head, and all sorts of things happen when you spend some time with Robbie. So being here on Patreon lets me create what I like to call a Wobby's world. You know, when I was younger, I didn't say Robbie. I couldn't say an R, so I would say, my name is Wobby. I'm the Wob, and I just want to make people happy, entertain people with some fun stuff. Children, okay? Now, everybody's related to a child somewhere, so a lot of the content on my Patreon page will be specifically for children in an educational way. So you can share that with the children in your life, whether they're your birth children, your grandchildren, your friends, your neighbors, or maybe you're a teacher. Maybe you need some help putting your best foot forward, speaking to people, entertaining people, having some jokes and some things to do when you're in public. I'm here to help you. You can join, and I forget which Ray it is, but I have a Google chat group just specifically geared to public speaking and presentation. How to hold a microphone and speak into it. And in return for that cable-like subscription, I get to entertain you. Sound meditations that you can just get the MP3, put it in your car, in your phone, put your earbuds in, and zone out to a more peaceful place. Having a crappy day at work? Let me entertain you. Having a fight with your spouse? Let me entertain you. Your kids working your last nerve? Join one of my community chat groups and let's talk about it. Pick a ray that you'd like to start at, whether it's the first ray or the 7th ray. Come on board. Welcome to my world, and this is the place where I will create from. Content for children, educational content for children, silly content for children, personal and up-close, loving content for children. As I do travel and jaunt around the world, meeting children everywhere and speaking all the different languages that I speak, I will make sure to capture it and share it with you here on Patreon and actually bring you on the road with me. Backstage access to all the things that I do, but from the backstage perspective. Like what actually happens before you come out on stage, huh? What? Come backstage and see what it's like for me as an artist before the downbeat, before the curtain opens. What happens? And then after the curtain closes, after the last applause, and after the people come into the theater and start to kick us out because it's time to go and their shift is over, what happens? Give it a try for a year. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. My whole MP3 library available only on Patreon and iTunes and a couple of other places for almost as much money as a monthly subscription would cost, where you get all of my content. I really want to focus in on how to look into the camera. Where's the camera? Here it is. I want to focus in on how to look into the camera and talk to children. As my monthly supporter, no matter which ray you come in on, you get to help me do what I do best and love to do the most. Thank you for checking out Patreon, whether it's $1, $2, $5, $10, $25 as a monthly commitment to me. I monthly commit to you to bring you some joy and some laughter. And not when I say, oh, I got a gig on Friday night at 7 o'clock, which you can't make because you got other things to do with your life. It'll be here available for you 24/7 on Patreon. Every month get to have a piece of the joy that I'm making, whether it's a song that I can sing to you directly, or if it's just one of my many little weird videos or blog posts, or even streaming. I'm going to be doing so many things with this Patreon platform. And I'm really looking forward to having my own TV show and make another record or 2 or 3 and release them only on Patreon. So these are all the good reasons that you are a part of the Patreon community, and I thank you so much. So I'll see you in a little bit, okay? And look, tomorrow, Saturday, I'm going to be streaming live, okay? Become a patron here, and you will be tapped into the live stream directly. Take a look at all the different perks that I'm offering. I am offering perks that have to do with the music and the art that I make, definitely, but also just connection. And then once I figure this whole thing out, I'm going to tell every artist that I know. But now, specifically, because you're in my community as a Patreon patron, I get to soar. You pay for cable, you pay for movies, you pay for concerts, you pay for a lot of different things to entertain you. Me, you know. Help me entertain you. Let me entertain you. All sorts of nouns abound. And I look forward to seeing you in person, but I especially want to continue to see you here on this little screen. I don't know you so well, but do know that I love you as you are. I appreciate you and all your loving energy that you put into the world. Keep it up, and in all things that you choose to do with yourself, which is always a choice what you do. All things that you do, keep the beat always, and in all ways you possibly can. Love you guys. Thanks for joining me here on Patreon, and let's give it a year and see how it goes. Pick one of the rays to subscribe to and stick with me and communicate with me and let me make art that pleases and fits you to a T and brings you some sort of joy and happiness.